this woman. We are familiar with the woman in this particular narrative. Uh, this woman that is in the text, we know something what about her if you're a Bible student. You read the Bible. We know something about this woman in Mark chapter 7, verse 24. We know something about her because I preached about it. You know about her. A woman who was a mother who had a little girl. And the little girl had a demon problem. We know that she's a little girl because the text tells us that she was little. We know that she had a demon problem because the text tells us that. And I love verse 25 is what I really want to talk about. But immediately, a woman with a little girl or a little daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him, came and fell down at his feet. The woman is described in the next verse, verse 26. She was a Gentile, a Syro-Phoenician woman by birth. And she wasn't really a church woman. She wasn't really a woman who came to church or a part of the religious community or a part of the Jewish faith. She was a Gentile outside of the household of Israel. She probably didn't get invitations to the synagogue or the temple. The Jews didn't treat those who were Gentiles very kindly when it came to them calling on the name of the Lord. They could call on them, but not inside of a Jewish temple or synagogue. They had in the temple, Sister Jefferson, what they called the temple or the court of the Gentiles. They couldn't get close in. They had to stay outside. And so this woman wasn't like those who had a front row ticket. She had to stay on the outside in order to get what she wanted to get from God and from Jesus Christ. But this woman ran into a crisis in her life, a crisis of an epic proportion. She had a demon-possessed daughter, a girl at home that was giving her problems, a girl at home she could not control, a girl at home, a daughter at home that was out of control. I really wanted to kind of preach this sermon, talk about the little girl, because the mother in the text is probably the hero in the story. But I want to talk about the villain. I know you don't want me to call a little girl a villain, but she was the one causing the problem. Yeah. In the home of this woman who came to Jesus. Let me preface this point with this idea, and let me bring it home to where you can relate to the sermon, my proposition, my argument that I'm going to make to you this morning. And that's simply this, Pastor. That was a time when folk was worried about their children. That parents had concerns about their children. It wasn't just about what they were going to drive and wear to prom. It wasn't even about them, this idea of having status and influence about what they were going to wear and the clout that you wanted to give them. And I said this and I say it again. I said in the barber shop this week and I'll say it again. Now, this ridiculous thing about some of these new parents, and some of y'all said it too, I don't want my kids to go through what I went through. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with what you went through. You turned out all right. I want to know who came up with that ridiculous statement. about you don't want your kids to go through what you living, and you're living pretty good. You ain't in jail. You had a good life. You respect folk and respect authority. Now you need to tell me right now, what's wrong with the way you were brought up? You talking about being brought up with structure, discipline, and parents taught you to restrain and to be respectful. You talking about that way? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with making you work if you want something? What's wrong with making you say yes, sir, to adults? I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with y'all by saying that you don't want your kids to grow up. You act like the way you grew up, something was wrong. You turned out all right. Now, listen. I'm just trying to make this point. There was a time when parents was concerned about what was going on with their children. Now, I make this point. Now, some of y'all, this is too old school for y'all. Listen, they was worried about your soul salvation. I don't know who came up with the Mona's Banks, but it was a pretty good idea. To leave that there seat open for those who were seeking. And listen, the Lord was seeking folk for the mourners bench, but the parents, they brought them to church. And what the old school parent did, they set them on the mourners bench. Coming up to the mourners bench it wasn't a choice. It's what you did when you came to a certain age. Because and they weren't going to try to tell you when you were going to get it. They just said you're going to get it. If you got to sit there 1 year, 2 years, and you got to go every revival and sit on that mourner's bench. We ain't going to tell you when to get up, but we going to tell you you're going to sit there until you get it. And that's some pretty good upbringing. That's when you're concerned about your children. Because they sure enough need to be saved. And I would argue that that's the problem in our world today. Parents ain't worried about their children coming to Jesus and finding Jesus. Because listen, if mama and them didn't give me nothing else, she gave me Jesus. She might have didn't leave me an inheritance, a house, money, and a car. But what mama gave me was Jesus. And that's what I got. That's mama's legacy. If she didn't give me nothing else, she gave me Jesus. And she gave me what she already had. Because her mama, Kari Trailer, gave it to her. And so you got to be concerned about your children. TJ, get them whatever you want to give them, and let them have whatever they want, but don't let them leave home and live in this world without Jesus. Because I'm telling you, he's a friend. And I'm about to get happy because I tell you, can't nobody hold you and keep you like Jesus. There have been some times in my life when I didn't have money, but I had Jesus. I didn't have a job, but I had Jesus. My health was failing, but I had. And that held me together. And this woman had a problem at home, a troubled child. And guess what she did? She went to Jesus about it. Yeah, you're right. And I ain't got, this ain't a long sermon. I ain't got about 2 points. But let me tell you, when you have a troubled child at home and you done all you can do, yeah, and nothing else working, you go to Jesus. Yeah, you're right. And I know it's a cliche we say, Clyde, Mama prayed for me. You know, we use it as a cliche now, but back in the day, it was real. Yeah, you're right. Because I heard my mama praying. Yeah, you're right. I heard her praying at church. Yep. And I heard her praying in her prayer closet. Yeah, you're right. And sometimes her prayer closet was in the kitchen while she was cooking. She praying. And sometimes it was in her bedroom at night. And sometimes she was out in the garden. She was praying. And you say all you want to. I made it on Mama's prayers. Yeah, you're right. When she couldn't do nothing with me and struggled to do something for me. Yeah. She called on the name. Yeah, you're right. On the name of Jesus. And this woman had a troubled child. And maybe that's the problem in our world today. Folk ain't turning to the right source about some of these troubled children they trying to raise. Because you can't buy them enough to make them do right. Do I have any witnesses in here? You can't love them enough for them to do right. You can't treat them good enough for them to do right. I tell you, but Jesus can do what stuff can't do. And I can tell you, Jesus can do what your love can't do. This woman, and because I won't focus on the little girl with the demon problem. I guarantee you this woman loved that little girl more than life itself. She done everything she could to help that little girl. Because see, ain't nothing like a mother's love. Now, Pastor Crawford told me don't get up here beating up on the women all the time, talk about the men. Well, I'm going to tell her this morning the man is absent in this text. He ain't nowhere to be found. I don't know whether she's married. The text doesn't indicate, but it looked like he ain't even concerned about this girl and her condition. And if I had time, I'd explain to you this home was disrupted and thrown into confusion and chaos because of this one little demon-possessed girl. Completely threw this home into chaos and confusion. Now, see, you can't wrap your mind around that. Let me explain this to you. You get aggravated when your children bring your grandchildren and they ain't there but an hour. Your house was at peace. Everything, you knew what it was. But as soon as they bring them little seeds of Chucky, disrupt your whole. I'm just talking about on just a normal level, how your grandchildren, they kind of disrupt. But this woman had to live with a demon possession. Because I'm gonna really paint the picture, because I want to put you in her house, in her situation. And the text doesn't say that she had more children or whether she had a husband. All we know in the text is she had one person, demon possessed, that had disrupted the harmony of a home. And I'm going to tell you, she couldn't do nothing with that little girl. little girl was cutting up and being disruptive, causing this woman a lot of heartache and a lot of pain to where she had become fed up. Boy, I'm finna say something, Michael. Now listen, this really ain't for black folk, or we don't do this. White folk do this. I don't care how fed up you get with your children, don't give up on your children. Did you hear what I just said? I don't care how fed up you get with your children, don't give up on them. Keep praying. Keep hoping. Mr. Citron, keep believing. I don't care how they get on your nerves. You be like the prodigal son's father. You hope he make it back home any day. But if they want to leave, let them leave. If they want to go into the far country, let them go. You might get fed up, but don't give up. They might hurt your heart, hurt your feelings, disappoint you and let you down. But don't give up on them. Always leave the door open. I ain't talking about let them walk all over you, because you can love them and make them respect you. Now listen, I love you, but you're going to respect me. Now, you ain't going to walk all over me. You're going to respect that this is my house, these are my rules. I ain't saying you can't come over, but there's some rules if you do. Because I ain't going to give up on you. This woman had a lot of trouble with this girl. I know one point, this point was so strong, I started to title this sermon with this point, that the woman, even though she had trouble at home and the little girl was at home causing trouble, what she didn't wait for was to try to bring the little girl to Jesus. She left the girl at home and she went to Jesus. I just said something. Because see, you can't make them come to church. You can't make them come to Jesus. But I tell you what you can do, you can come to Jesus on their behalf. And see, some of y'all done gave up because they won't come to church, they won't get saved, but don't give up. You keep coming. And see, this altar is open. And the invitation gonna be given. And you got somebody at home, you can't get them to come to church. You can't get them saved. You can't get them to give their heart to Jesus. Listen, if they don't come, you come. You come and tell Jesus about it. This woman, you don't know how hard she tried to get this girl to go with her. Because she heard about Jesus. Now listen, the text says that she heard about him. She knew he was a miracle worker, casting out demons, giving sight to the blind, feeding the hungry. She heard about him. She probably said, baby, let's just go and see Jesus. But you can't talk to nobody that's got it. See, some of y'all don't realize some of these children got a demon problem. It ain't no behavior problem, it's a demon problem. If I had time, I'd explain to you some of these behavioral issues that some of these children have, because see, some of these children are diving into and delving into the demonic, and you got to be careful what you listen to, where you go, who you talk to, what you read, what you let into your mind and into your heart. Some of these children, these babies, whatever you want to call them, they got a demon problem that leads to a behavioral problem. See, you deal with the behavioral problem, but never the demonic problem. The girl was behaviorally disrupting the peace of this woman's home. She realized that you can correct them, discipline them, and try to get their behavior in check. That wasn't working. She finally realized that it was deeper than that. And so she decided, I'm going to talk to Jesus. And that's where we are. And I don't want to get too negative today, but this new generation of parents, I use the parents first. Because I'm with Steve Harvey. Ain't no such thing as bad children, as bad parents raising bad children. This new generation of parents, the way they parent doesn't line up with Scripture. And it's not helpful to the children. They don't realize that they're doing more harm. And I was trying to explain to one of my daughters, when you bring a child into the world, it's your obligation to sacrifice. It ain't about you no more. You done brought somebody else in the world. And you got to do more for them than you do for yourself. You can't think about yourself. You gave up the right to be selfish when you brought another child into the world. It's about them. It ain't about you. You talking about that you ain't happy. You can't go out. You can't do what you want to. Well, you should have left that baby in babyland. But now you brought another life into the world. It's about them, not about you. These new parents don't know nothing about sacrifice, delayed gratification. Listen, you can't do certain things when you bring a child into the world, especially multiple children. You got to wait to do that or have that. Don't tell me I can't talk about this. I done raised 7. A lot of sacrifices I made for the sake of my children. It's a new, different kind of generation of parents. They want to have babies and pawn them off on you. They want you to raise them. They want you to clothe them and feed them. As if they ain't got enough sense to, if they can't take care of one, they keep popping them out. I'm telling you, it's a new generation of parents. It's raising a group of children, a generation of children. Now, I ain't finna be too negative, but I'm gonna say a couple of things, because this Mother's Day. I'm talking about mothers. Because mainly the primary responsibility to raise children is with the mother. That verse in Proverbs said that you ought to listen to the instructions of your father, but you ought to listen to the law of your mother. The mother gives you laws, or she gives you rules, or she gives you this level of living of how you can live your best life. You know, most of the lessons, even if a father's around, the best lesson any child learns is from mama. Because mama is the teacher. She's more connected to you than daddy is. Because she carried you for 9 months. She talked to you long than daddy will ever have time to talk to you. She talked to you when you was in that womb. Shirley, she's just right for the 9 months I carried you. Flowing inside of me. And so this new generation of parents, now they're going to get mad at me, Bush, but I'm going to say it anyway. Listen, if I take you to the grocery store, you my grandchild, you leaving the devices in the car. Listen, you going to do what I say. And that's the problem with our generation today. They don't want to raise children. They don't want to be involved. They want the computer and the iPhone and the pad to raise their children. Listen, when I went to church back in the day, my mama was an usher. And somehow or another, she had a hand that could reach any pew. Mama could move so fast. If I became distracted or wasn't paying attention in church, Lola McKinney told her, "You're going to knock all the sense out of that boy's head." But Mama knew the value of raising me to where, see, she knew I had to pay attention in school. I couldn't get distracted, so she wanted me to pay attention at church. Wherever I went, on my job, I got to pay attention and get focused. So this woman had this child. I'm trying to help somebody because I'm telling you, this new generation of parents. And then I'm gonna say this, and I gotta close. But listen, I'm gonna say this new generation of parents who give their children options, multiple choice. I ain't getting no option. I remember that time my mama cooked them green beans, them greens, and them Simon patties, and I don't eat green beans, greens, and Simon patties. And she said, "You gonna sit here until it's 8?" I didn't work hard to go out here. We barely scratching by. You gonna eat what I fix. And at 10 o'clock, my sibling was in the bed. I'm still sitting at the table, looking at that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Because they understood the value of how hard it took to get what's on the table. Now we give our children too many options. What y'all want to eat? Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna say this. Y'all see, y'all know what hand-me-downs was. And I try to explain to my children when they buy clothes too big for my kids, I said, put a hem in it. Oh no, we ain't put no hem in it. Because mama then wanted us to appreciate. This woman had a troubled child at home. But what she didn't do, she didn't try to make that girl come with her. She said, if you can't go, I'm going on to talk to Jesus about you. And this is point number 2. She didn't try to make the girl go to church. She didn't try to make the girl come to Jesus. She went and left the girl at home. And sometimes you have to do that. You know, that's what a praying mother will do. When she can't get the child to church or get them to Jesus, she'll go pray for them. Because listen, that's what prayer does. And that's what it's for. Let me give you this. She was concerned about what she left at home. I just said something. And see, she was concerned about what she left at home. It wasn't that she wasn't concerned. She was concerned. She went to church, probably went to the synagogue. She probably practiced her faith. But she was concerned about what she left at home. What did she leave at home? A daughter with demon possession. And that's important. I don't get to see all my children. They all grown and live in different states. But I'm praying about them. Sometimes I call her by name. Do you ever call your children by name? I mean, sometimes you have to. You can't just say, "God bless my children," because all of them got different needs. You got to call them by. It's something about calling them by name. Because let me tell you something. You'll feel better when you call them by name. Put them in Jesus' hands. Have a little talk with Jesus. Tell him all about your trouble. He will hear. Sometimes I get to praying and I say, bless Sherelle and Trinity and Taloria and Christina and Christopher and Brunson and Robert. And then when I leave there, I go to the grandchildren, Ray and Landon and London. And I call them all, tell them. Because I want him to know their name. Not that he don't know their name, but I want him to know. And I'm concerned about him. I can't see him every week and don't hear from him that often, but I'm concerned about him. And this woman was concerned about what she left at home. This girl just causing all kind of trouble in this woman's home. And I don't really have time to unfold that some of these homes in America are in chaos and confusion. You can say it because you old school like me. You ain't scared in your own house. But it's a whole lot of parents that are trying to raise their children. I had a case just last week in court. The grandmama is scared to go to sleep. Got to lock the lock in her room. That's nonsense to me. Don't make sense to me, but some parents live like that. Their children are a holy terror. They terrorize their parents. And listen, I ain't going to too much blame the children, because children will get away with whatever you let them get away with. They'll push you as far, and they'll try. But listen, whatever you can't keep putting up with, don't start putting up with. But I ain't going to feel unsafe in my own house. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to give you this, and because I'm teaching. This is Mother's Day. Now, there are about 3 rules I got. And they don't have to be your rules, but they pretty good rules. 3 rules I got. Now, my children grown now. They know I live this way. First of all, when I go to work, everybody go to work. Ain't nobody left at my house while I'm gone. To work. You mean to tell me I'm going to get up at 8 o'clock, and while I'm at work, you at my house all day, eating my food, sucking up my electricity, coming in and out of my house? How much sense does that make? You sucking up resources that's using my money that I'm going to have to go to work for every day. That's one of my rules. You don't have to use that. That's fine. You know, another one of my rules, don't nobody get a key to my house. When I go to bed, everybody go to bed. Ain't nobody walking in my house when I get ready to go to. Ain't the truth what I'm saying? Because I need to know when you're going to come and make sure you're going to come by yourself. You don't get a key to my house. You don't pay no bills here. That's fine. You do what you want to. That's just one of my rules. I'm just trying to help you. And you know another rule I got? Some of y'all would be wise to do that, but you don't have to. I don't care. You do what you want to. Some things are good. Some things might be helpful. Listen, after 24, you can't live with me. You can't live with me now. Now, I give you the 24, but after 24, listen, 2 men can't live in the same house. 2 women can't live in the same house. If both of them are grown, you're going to have some problems. I help you get a place to live, but you can't come back here. You can't come back here. I give you, help you get a deposit, help you find a place, but you can't come back. Ain't the truth what I'm saying? That's the problem we got in America now, especially in the black community. We got too many grown folk living at home with their parents. And I know sometimes it's necessary because my brother Ricky lived with my mother, and my brother was about 50 years old, and I thank God he was there. He needed to be there because my mama was cooking one day, and she put some water and grease, and it caught a fire and caught a fire, and if he wasn't there, she'd be dead way before she died. Sometimes it's necessary, and it's the best thing that people cohabitate and live together. But I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about able-bodied people, young men and young women who want to live financially free from responsibility of taking care and paying their own way. They ain't going to like this, TJ, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's the problem we have in the black community. you go see your kids, all you got to do is go back to the next room. I want to go across town. I want to go to Kentucky. I'm closing. Let me tell you what this woman did. She couldn't, man, this was a situation. She just couldn't handle this girl. You see, let me give you this. And here's some 3 principles. You have to admit when you can't handle what's yours. Because don't it get like that sometimes? You got some children, you just can't handle them. And just got to and listen, you're not throwing in the towel, you're just throwing up your hand. This woman wasn't giving up. She didn't throw in the towel to give up on the girl. She just realized she could not handle her by her. She needed help. And it get like that sometimes. I never will forget when I had to commit my son to Mississippi Youth Academy at the age of 15 because his behavior was so disruptive at school, out in the streets, and I couldn't do nothing with him, and Mama couldn't do nothing with him, so I shipped him up, took him down to Mississippi Youth Academy at 15 years old, and he had to stay there till he was 18. And now he's training to be a helicopter pilot with a job working at a Chevrolet place in Gulfport. No children. Sometimes you can become overwhelmed. It's not that you're pawning them off on somebody else, it's you done all you can do. But we so prideful, we don't want to save them early. If you don't save them early, you have to deal with them when they get older. She just couldn't do nothing with this girl. And so she decided to go to Jesus and tell Jesus about her problem. She went there because she knew Jesus could do something about it. Now, see, that's how I know folk really don't believe that Jesus can do all things and anything. Yeah. Because if you did stuff you couldn't do, you tell Jesus about it. You'd lay it at his feet. Because now I believe that Jesus can do anything, all things, and everything. And listen, I done turned my children over to Jesus many times. You don't have to try to figure it out, but turn it over to him and he'll work it out. Well, she said, I'm going to Jesus. And when she got there, now this is the point I really want to close. I'm going to go exit. I'm going to exit off this highway. Now let me tell you, see, this is the other problem, Clyde. I'm telling you, these new parents is something. When she got there, she told Jesus, but let me tell you what she admitted, that some of us want to admit something was wrong with her girl. She admitted that this little girl is messing up the peace of my home. I can't cook. I can't raise my other children. I can't take care of my husband. I can't go to the grocery store. And I can't keep my house straight and organized because this little thing, she's a problem. She admitted that something was wrong with this little girl that she was trying to raise. And that is a hard thing to admit sometimes, that some of your children is messed up. Wait a minute now, I'm trying to help you. It's hard to admit, and the reason why you won't admit it is because you think you failed. You didn't fail, they just messed up. It ain't got nothing to do with your training. They didn't get that from you, they got that from somewhere else. That ain't no reflection on you to say that your children got a problem that disrupts the peace of your home and keeps that life in chaos and confusion. That ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm finna help some of y'all. You raise them the best you can. And the mess they in now ain't got nothing to do with their upbringing. They're going to admit they ain't got their stuff together and they ain't right. And don't feel guilty. You call an ace and a spade a spade. And you'll help them if you'll go on and just tell them to their face.
Yeah. Thank you.
Quit dancing around the issue. This woman said, my little girl is demon possessed. That little girl that I raised and birthed, she got a problem, and it's a demon problem. She causing me a hell of a lot of problems. She'd have never got that situation fixed until she admitted what the problem was. It's probably tough because we love our little babies, children. And I get it. You don't want to admit that they got some problems because you think the problems got something to do with their upbringing. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Nothing. They just got influenced by the wrong thing. And I don't care if you do drink. It ain't got nothing to do with they drinking problem. I don't give if they in the street. They ain't got nothing to do with you being in the street. This is what I tell my children. I'm closing. I know you shouldn't inject your own personal experiences in sermons, but that's what they teach us in seminary. But let me share this. I tell my children, don't let my mistakes be your excuse to mess up your life. Let my mistakes be a lesson. Don't look at my life and say that because Daddy, you did it, I'm going to do it. No. If I tell you the bridge is out down there, don't you mean to tell me you're going to keep going and try to cross the road and it ain't no bridge? No, let me tell you, don't go down that road. Don't let my failures be your excuse to say, well, Daddy, you did it, I got to do it. And I'm telling you, she admitted that her daughter, something was wrong with that girl. It's hard to do that sometimes, to admit something wrong with some of them afflicted, crazy children you got. Because you raised them. Ain't the truth what I'm saying? Listen, quit acting like something ain't wrong with them children. You know you didn't raise them like that. You know some of the stuff they do just don't make no sense. They've been in the Baptist church all their life. Now you know they ain't got no business being no black Israelite. Being no Jehovah's Witness. You don't know where they went off the reservation. You know good well. You didn't raise them like that. You scared to say something. This crazy stuff these children be talking about. I done found a new way. What new way? There's more than one way to help. No, ain't but one way to help, and that's Jesus. Listen, I walk with Jesus. I told you about Jesus. Listen, you can't sway me. Some of this crazy stuff, I ain't gonna get too much into. Some of this crazy stuff, you won't admit there's something wrong with it. I saw y'all at the Carter Feet Festival last night. Facebook, I saw some of you getting down, getting it on. That's all right. But see, when you don't normalize insanity and stuff that just don't make sense. Now I'm saying enjoy yourself. But some things are just crazy. It just ain't normal. It ain't right. So she admitted that something was wrong with her daughter. I'm telling you, so many parents would help their children, help themselves, and would bring some resolution to some of these problems they have with their children if they just admit there's something wrong with them. Now, you ain't going to let nobody else talk about them, but you can. Just tell them. She told Jesus, she went straight to Jesus and said, my little girl. So that word is a term of affection and endurance. She loved the girl, but she said something is wrong with her. And what's wrong with her, I can't do nothing about it. I done tried to love her, tried to do everything I could, and nothing worked. And so she said, Jesus, I need you to do something. Do something about it. And so I ain't going to get too much into the behavior of the woman, but Jesus and this woman got to talking, and this woman, she wasn't really a church lady because she was outside, and Jesus brought it to her attention and said, you really ain't a part of that group I really came to minister to or to be first in line. But she said, but even the dogs can eat the crumbs from the table. Let me paint a picture. You'll get it like this. See, white folk think Jesus belonged to them, but they don't realize. And you know, they talk about him being a white man, Jesus, but he ain't a white man, Jesus. He my Savior. And they think what God got to give in Jesus come to them first. But listen, mama and them got the crumbs that fell from the table. Well, I ain't going to go there because I'm telling you, but you understand it like that. Let me help you. I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help you with this. You know why we call Pilgrim Grove Missionary Baptist Church? Because there was probably a white Pilgrim Grove church, Pilgrim Grove Baptist Church, and what they did was they would let this church be a mission church from the white church, because we couldn't go to their church because see, their Jesus was too white for us, and we was too black for their Jesus. And so they said, y'all can go down there on West Churchill, and you can start a church, but you can name it, and we'll sponsor it, but it'll be our mission church. And so they would call it Pilgrim Grove Missionary Baptist Church because, see, they thought, listen, the crumbs. Our Jesus is too white for you. You too black for our Jesus. But then, listen, Martha, listen, Jesus. Don't fool around here. I think it was Marshall Shepard said white folks, they was winning on this slavery thing and this oppression thing and keeping black folk in bondage, but then they fooled around and introduced us to Jesus. And when they introduced us to Jesus, we got to know him for ourselves. We got to know him for ourselves. And then I'm going to tell you the part in the Bible they didn't want us to read back then. And Robert, I'm going to I got to close because I'm really about to get historical with you. You know, the part, they wanted us to read about the slaves submit to your master. They wanted us to read about that. But you know what they didn't want us to read was the book of Exodus. Because the Exodus is about slavery and enslavement and the masters keeping the slave in servitude. But they didn't want us to read about Exodus chapter 1 because in Exodus chapter 1, the slaves started talking to God and started crying and shedding tears. And Exodus says that they prayed. And God sent Moses down there and said, I tell him I've heard their cry. Seen their tears. And tell him I've come down to deliver them. Because I tell you, when you call him and call him right, he will hear your prayer. I tell you, Jesus told the woman, go on back home. And when you get back home, that which you brought to me, it's been fixed and solved. Because when you turn it over to Jesus, he will work it out. Do I have any witnesses in here? Is there anybody in here that's ever turned anything over to Jesus? When you turn it over to Jesus, he will work it out. Won't he do it? Do I have a witness in here that he will work it out for you? The door of the church is open. The Lord will work things out. And when that woman got home, Verse 30 says, she found her child laying in the bed, and the demon was gone. Because Jesus will work it out. That problem that I had that I just couldn't seem to solve. I prayed and I prayed. And I turned it over to Jesus. And he worked it